You guys know. Well, first of all, let me start by saying good morning. Okay, kind of late for me in the morning because it's like 5 o'clock. Um, so usually I'll be almost done, if not halfway done. But I had to do some other things today. But that's all good. That's all good. Um, so I'm glad that I did get up because I was like procrastinating, but I forgot that I had parked. I forgot I parked my car. Boom, so close. And I didn't park it in the parking garage, and I didn't park it in our parking lot because I was planning on going somewhere yesterday, but I did not go because I was so tired and exhausted. And I know that was from the stuff that I ate. Like, it's getting a little bit harder to have like really really good produce in the neighboring area. So I had to make a conscious effort to like go and get things from the store, even though it's like 1,000 stores out here. There's 1,000 stores out here and farms and stuff like that. But like within walking distance or the closest driving one, which is like stores everywhere, but the local one that I usually go to if I'm not super grocery shopping is, yeah, it's slowing down. It's definitely slowing down on the produce. But like I said, it's not like it's super less, but you can definitely see the change. Um so today I wanted to talk about what Dave Chappelle said because I thought about what I was going through with this whole thing and dealing with this whole issue with this pageant thing, and I was just like, should I even go? Like, should I even go? Because I feel like I would probably be defeated. I mean, it's like I don't have the items needed to succeed, and yeah, it's horrific. It's horrific. It's just, it's. I can't say that it's not bothering me, but I definitely thought about what Dave Chappelle said um, in this scenario. And Dave Chappelle said when he first like started the Chappelle show, people said, "Oh yeah, it was a good idea, whatever," but they didn't know it was gonna take off. Excuse me, the way that it did, and when it did, uh, he got a lot of compensation. But when it was time to renew his contract, um, they wanted him to just change a lot of things, and he just dipped off. And people was like, "Where Dave Chappelle?" And he went to Africa, and later on we found out he went out of the country and just tried to get connected with himself because he was like, it didn't become comedy anymore. They was taking him out of his element, and we didn't understand it. But he made this illustration about um, how hunters, when they're looking for water, and the cruelty that they do with the animals. So what he said was this, and it made so much sense. And how I think about things now, it's like, okay. So, okay. So he said, which I for sure is true. It's not it's not non-fictional. It's nothing like he made up. This is absolutely true, and I know this because I've heard of this being talked about before he even said it. About people who are in the desert or they're in dry places and they're looking for water and they have animals. And they don't just use certain, all the animals. They use certain ones, but the one that he talked about was the baboon. And he's like, they took in order to find out, they'll capture the baboon. And if they're, in the wild and they see a baboon, they'll catch the wild baboon, and they'll feed the baboon things that contain salt, because baboons really do love salt. Um, They like lettuces. They love salt. So the baboon will keep eating salt, but eventually it's going to get thirsty, just like any other creature. Just like any other creature that couldn't filter out salt, or if you eat too much salt, you're gonna want water. So what they do is they'll feed the baboon unconsciously, almost to the point of unconsciousness, to where it's stuck. depending depending on the person that captured it to feed it, and it's feeding on this salt. And he talked about how when the baboon is thirsty, they let the baboon out. They don't feed him any more salt. They let him out, and the baboon goes out and starts digging like crazy and finds water, because that is what animals do, especially baboons. They can search out and sniff out places. That's why people call, if you look at like the Lion King, and they had the baboon as the wise man. It's because this that creature, that animal, is very resourceful. That animal is gonna be able to make it during tough times. It will find out, how to um, not only survive but thrive, everything around it. So yeah, Dave Chappelle talked about that, and he's like, how the baboon just keeps digging, he's finding, and he looks for a source of water, and he keeps digging until he gets the water. And when he gets the water, that's how they get the water. That's how the people who captured the animal, the baboon, gets the water. And he said that that analogy related to him. He was a gold mine as far as dealing with comedy. He really was, because he looked at things that happened in our lives and made it, found the humor in it, to the point it was comical and analytical comedy. That's what it was. And you couldn't deny it. He said the truth, but people couldn't deny it, you know. And he knew that. He knew that if he was to go under contract, he would lose his voice. He wouldn't be able to get the good bunch. And he said the only thing that he did was he let go of the salt. You had to let go of it. He let go of the salt, meaning he let go of his gift. He didn't, he didn't use his gift for a minute. He didn't take the bait. He didn't take the bait. And he did not take the bait. And some people will say, "Oh, well, that's messed up." But in the long run, no, it didn't. It wasn't messed up, because he has his sanity. For one, he has his sanity. He didn't have to bend over, and do all the work and be taken advantage of. Some people will look at what he did was being idiotic. He could have been making billions by now, which he's not struggling anyway. He's not struggling anyway. But he has creative control over what he says and how he wants to view things and do things. So, yeah, although I don't have the funds like Dave Chappelle, but I understood that like 12,000%. And I think that anyone who is in a craft or anything like that has come to a point like that in their lives sometimes, where you have to make those kind of decisions. You have to make those kind of decisions. And yeah, look, yeah, that's how I felt about that one. Yeah. Look, yeah, that's how I felt about that one. And yeah, I thought about it, and like I said, it made me so angry. But it's like, you've already been invested in this, because I spent so much money on the dresses, creating the dresses. I could have been using the time to do some other stuff. But as far as winning, I'm not trying to go into the goal. Look, I'm not trying to go into the not trying to go into the goal of winning. And yeah. Yeah, I can't get the, make sure I don't. And this is kind of hard. I know this kind of messed up because people are like, aren't you going to things to win, especially a pageant? Wouldn't you want to win? In any competition, you do want to win. But every time that, just because you get a title as the winner, does not mean that you're a winner. And sometimes when you don't get the title winner, you become the ultimate winner, you know? So, that's why I shared that, because I really do believe that Dave Chappelle really made one of the best decisions of his life there. I know it seemed like it hurt, you know, you have to say no to certain things that, you know, especially things that you want to do and you're really good at, but it definitely helped him. It definitely helped him. And like I said, as I get older, you have to understand what's going on. And I thought about it. I know there was when I told you guys and I made the video and I said, oh, what the lady said. And I'm going to show you guys what she said. Because she's like, oh, the tiaras and all this. But it's like, there's no sashes. There are no this. But then I'm like, wait a minute. But you got the national crowns. And you got the, which means you ordered these afterwards. Like, and you got those. And you know. So, didn't, like I said, it's not, yeah, look, that's what I'll say. It's, I'll deal with it that way. So, but I'm definitely going to go ahead and go. I'm definitely going to go ahead and go. And, I'm going to put my best, I won't say my best. Well, I'm going to do my best, but you guys will see. I'll just, I don't want you guys not to look, because, you want to be a winner, but not to the point where you're losing. Not to the point where you're losing, especially when you're dealing with situations, like this. Okay? Yeah. When you're dealing with situations like this. So, it's 12 minutes. I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to make another video because there was something else that I saw earlier today, but I know it's different from that. So, yeah, hopefully something I said or done will help you on your journey. Please stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem. Bye.